Hello, my name's Tina Young. My pronouns are she, they, and I am the undergraduate violence prevention coordinator for the CARE office.
Hi, my name's Eleni Conley. I use she and her pronouns. I'm one of the advocates in the care office.
Hi, my name is Rasta Vigeri. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm one of the advocates of the CARE office. Today, we are going to talk about some of the services and programs that CARE offers. UCI Care provides free and confidential services to members of the UCI community who have been impacted by sexual assault, relationship abuse, family violence, and stalking. Programs and services are available to people of all identities and regardless of status. We provide services to people regardless of when they were harmed, regardless of who harmed them, and regardless of whether or not they choose to report. UCI Care aims to end these forms of power-based personal violence by engaging the campus community in education, programming, and transformative action. While CARE staff have different roles, we all work collaboratively in fulfilling our mission and supporting the campus community. I will be speaking to our advocacy services as well as our holistic healing program. One of the main services that CARE offers is advocacy. Advocacy is specialized services for support for survivors of power-based violence. Power-based violence is a form of violence where the primary motivator is exertion of power and control in order to harm another person. Advocacy services are completely confidential and free. UCI Care staff are not responsible employees. That means that we don't have to make a report to the university when someone discloses having experienced harm. An advocate can provide a variety of services, which I'll explain in more detail on the next slide. Advocates are not lawyers or therapists. So while we are not in the position to give legal advice or conduct therapy sessions, we are able to provide referrals to those services when appropriate. We provide a variety of advocacy services. While services are individualized, these are examples of the types of supports that we offer. We offer emotional support, which includes psychoeducation, helping students develop their coping skills, and safety planning. We can provide accompaniment to forensic exams if a student chooses to engage with that process, and we can also provide information about other medical options. We can help students access academic accommodations when they are experiencing academic hardship due to the harm they experienced. We are able to provide these accommodations both through referrals to the Disability Services Center and through direct communication with faculty and other appropriate parties. We're able to provide information regarding reporting options. While we don't support one reporting option over another, we think that it is important that people understand what their options are. And if somebody does choose to report, whether that be with the Title IX office, the police department, or both, we can provide accompaniment and support through those processes. We're also able to provide some financial support through our Survivor Support Fund and through helping people apply for the California Victim Compensation Board application. We're able to help students access housing accommodations on campus through relationships with housing, access to emergency housing, as well as connecting people to housing referrals within the community. We also recognize that students have a variety of needs, and while we can't help students with all of those needs in-house, we have partnerships both on and off campus with departments and organizations that provide a variety of support services. In addition to our advocacy services, we also have a holistic healing program. We recognize that people access healing in different ways, so our holistic healing program is designed to give people multiple pathways to access healing in ways that are meaningful to them. Examples of our holistic healing program are our Reconnect Yoga as Healing program, our Recreate Art as Healing program, our Reassert program, which is a self-defense class. We also have our Reengage Animals as Healing program, a Review Healing Library where people can access books that cover a variety of topics, Regroup, which is a support group offered for survivors of sexual assault, Remix, which offers music as healing, our resource downloadables that are available through our website, and our Horticulture as Healing program.
Beyond our survivor support services, we also plan and host multiple campus-wide events, campaigns, educational workshops, and trainings throughout the year. Our goal is to raise awareness and understanding of the issues, as well as to actively engage our community in violence prevention efforts. Some of our campus-wide programming events are Take Back the Night and the Clothesline Project, and annual campaigns such as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October. Our workshops and training vary in topics from bystander intervention to redefining masculinity to trauma-informed best practices. These workshops are tailored to each audience, and we enjoy working with requesters to create a training that meets their group's needs. If you want to request a presentation or training, you can go to our website, care.uci.edu, and click on Request a Workshop or Training right there on our front page. Finally, we coordinate and supervise multiple peer education groups that help us engage the UCI community in awareness and education. We have different groups for undergraduates, sorority and fraternity members, and graduate students. So if you're interested in getting involved with our work, please email our office for more information. So now that you know more about what CARE does, you might be wondering when you or someone you know would want to seek our services. Situations like not being sure if a relationship you have is healthy, having been sexually assaulted or sexually harassed, or not feeling safe at home, in class, or at work could be a reason to speak with one of our advocates. We also encourage you to reach out if you aren't sure if what you're experiencing falls into the category of power-based personal violence. The CARE office provides a safe, confidential space to discuss your options. You can also speak to an advocate if you want to learn how to support someone who has or is experiencing harm. Here are some tips about how to respond and support the survivors in our lives. Start by believing them, especially for survivors of power-based personal violence. They may have been told by the people closest to them that what happened to them isn't valid and what happened to them doesn't make sense, or that they're just making a big deal out of everything. Oftentimes in these cases, these folks will not seek services because those closest to them have invalidated their experience. We can affirm that whatever they are feeling is valid and that people respond to trauma differently. It is not their fault for what happened to them. Support looks like being present, listening, and letting them share at their own pace. We do not want to ask questions or try to investigate on our own. We want to empower them and allow them to make their own decisions. They may have experienced a situation where they were powerless, so we want to ensure that they know that we respect their decisions and that we are returning the power to make these decisions to them. This can look like keeping what they have shared with you private and also letting them choose if they would like to make a report or not. It is important to consider your own emotional state and how much emotional labor you're able to support this person. Sometimes the kindest thing for someone who needs support is to be honest about the kind of support you can provide. For example, you could state, "Thank you for trusting me with this. I want to support you as much as possible, but I can't fill in the blank. I can't leave work during work hours. Maybe I can't answer the phone after 11 p.m. or any other boundary you need to set for your own mental health and well-being." Lastly, we connect them to confidential support resources that can be there for them 24/7 and that are trained to respond to these kinds of traumas. Here at UCI, students have access to the CARE office, but there are similar services nationwide, countywide, wherever they may be, we can help find resources for them. On the next slide, Eleni is going to talk about some of those resources.
So these, I know it says after hours resources. These are basically 99% of them, I should say, are after hours resource or off-campus resources as well. So if you want to connect to them instead of our office, that's totally okay. It's whatever you want to do. Waymakers is our local sexual assault crisis response and resource hotline in the county. And so there are local, like I just mentioned, they're out of Orange County. They provide support to survivors of sexual assault. And if you want to call them, you're able to call that number. You also can call during the daytime if you want to get connected to one of their advocates instead. They're really great. They also speak Spanish and some other languages as well. The UCI Counseling Center does actually have a 24-hour hotline that you're able to call, speak to a trained therapist any time of the day if you need that support. So if you want to do that, you can give their phone number a call. Human Options is a local nonprofit that provides support to people who have experienced relationship violence, and they also offer safety planning to people. So if you need anything as far as trying to figure out how to get yourself safe, you can give them a call, or also if you just need support and someone to talk to, and that number is a 24-hour crisis line also. And then the National Sexual Assault Hotline, it's ran by RAIN, and so actually, that phone number is going to direct you to the Rape Crisis Center that's closest to your area code of your phone number. So if, for example, you have a 626 area code, you may be routed to peace over violence or whatever is closest to where your area code is. They also have an online chat at hotline.rain.org. They also have an app. So if you want to download that onto your phone, you can also chat with someone from the app. The app is really aesthetically pleasing too. And then there's the crisis text line. So if you need to text anyone, you can talk to them about any sort of crisis that you're having, and you can text them at that number. And the National Domestic Violence Hotline also is a national resource. And so you can give that number a call. You can also text Love Is to 22522, get connected to an advocate. And then they do have online chat as well. So those are some different resources.
If you are interested in getting connected specifically to one of our advocates, you can make an appointment by either calling us at 949-824-7273 or by emailing our main office at care@uci.edu. That's care@uci.edu. If you're interested in our current programs, the best place to look is our Instagram page. Our handle is @UCI Care. If you have a different question or aren't sure who you should talk to, don't hesitate to email us at care@uci.edu or give us a call.